Hello, everyone. I'm Walter Proper, the Executive Director for the International Association of Public Health Logisticians, and we're continuing with our Chapter Leader Spotlight Series. And so we are now going to Kenya, and Yukabeth, who I'm going to ask to introduce herself, her full name, and tell us where she's from originally and maybe where she is now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Yukabeth Otieno. Everyone calls me Yuki. I work for Pamela Steel Associates Limited. I am based in Kenya, but currently I'm in Ethiopia. There's a project we are working on here, capacity building and supporting an organization here. So we're here for the time being to see how the progress is going, and then we'll be back in Kenya.
Great. And where are you from originally in Kenya?
I am from Kenya, Nairobi.
Nairobi.
Born and raised, but upcountry is South Nyanza.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is your current position, Pamela Steel?
Currently, I'm a project officer. So I double up in two roles, some business development, and in the project here, I support in outbound aspects. So inventory management, warehousing, distribution, and fleet management.
Okay. So just continue with that. What has been your overall experience in public health supply chain? Tell us a little bit about that.
So I landed into public health supply chain, especially due to interest. So when I did my master's and finished it, I came across PSA, and PSA by then was looking for an intern to sort of support in special projects that they had. And at that point, as I was doing my master's in the UK, I managed to go and visit the office in Oxford. After that, Pam, who is the CEO of PSA, mentioned that they had an office in Kenya. And I, thought about it, and I was like, okay, what better way to go back and, build my country? So I took up the position in Kenya, and through that got to now, sort of live and talk and breathe public health supply chain. So through that, we have been able to do consultancies, research, and training, which are the core key areas in PSA in public health supply chain. So we have supported government institutions, NGOs, private institutions to strengthen their capacity and also to strengthen their supply chains end to end.
And what do you like most about working in this area?
The fulfillment you get out of it, because one key thing we usually say as PSA is that whatever impact that we put in on the job that we're doing is to ensure availability at the last mile. Like the person who is in the remotest village, and now I'm talking about like LMICs, when you look at low middle income countries, and you're thinking about the people who don't have proper infrastructure, their roads are inaccessible. So our joy is to ensure that the supply chain is so strengthened such that they are able to go to a pharmacy, go to hospital, and be able to get medicine. So for me, that is the fulfillment that I live for.
Great. And now in terms of IAPHL, how long have you been with IAPHL? I
joined IAPHL in 2016, and I heard about IAPHL from Andrew Brown. By then, I joined out of curiosity to find out who are the other public health logisticians or people in public health within the country. And it was clear, like on the major platform, there were Kenyans who were there, but then there was no set up sort of Kenyan chapter. Mm-hmm. So come 2016, I was just, sort of getting to know about it. Then come 2017 is when, sort of Andrew approached Pam and talked to her about, you could be the focal people for the IAPHL within the country. And, we welcomed the aspect of it. And yeah, so from 2017 till now. Yeah.
That's great. And so what is your role in the local chapter?
So in the local chapter, I am the country chapter leader. Within 2019 is when we had our first face-to-face meeting, which was sponsored by PSA. And by then it was to find out like what direction do the members want us to take? What aspects do they prefer? how would they like us to interact, and just the basics of it, so we could understand what direction we're going to. And we were also comparing ourselves with a few other country chapters, whereby, how are they meetings, who frequents their meetings, how are they planning it, and how are they able to, sort of achieve at the end of it all, sort of maximum participation, people attending the meetings and such. And through then, so we had the first face-to-face meeting. And at that point, we were like, we need to assign a few roles here and there. And it was a takeaway that was given to the members, and they were to think about it, and we were supposed to convene back so we can be able to have the meeting sort of to decide about it. So then we approached IAPHL and sort of told them like, okay, we'd like to have another meeting. Is that like a way where we can get sponsorship about it? But then we also understand that, there are a few challenges when it comes to groups coming together, when you're trying to bring about the professionalization of a sector and there's no proper income coming in. So by then we told ourselves, okay, let's try that by next year, same time, because we had the meeting around March, April. So we planned that we would have another one come 2020. Then unfortunately come 2020, COVID happened and we couldn't have, sort of a face-to-face, because by then I had already written down like, a proposal for us to be able to get some sort of funding for us to be able to have the meeting. So currently I'm the only official, so to speak. So hopefully as the year, like as of next year, I'm hoping that we can be able to grow the pool such that it's not only reliant on one person from one organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we hope that, and I mean, all the chapters are obviously having this great challenge of COVID and stuff. And then some are doing some pretty big virtual meetings, and others are still trying to get going. So we appreciate your persistence in keeping this going. So what do you think is the major interest of your members when you've talked to them, or you've talked in Kenya? What do you think is key topics that they probably want to discuss or have discussed?
One key thing is I did an analysis of the members that are there, and a lot of them you find that are from Ministry of Health, pharmacists as well. And when you look at it, also when people usually request to join the chapter, the reasons they give, you find people say that, they're interested in public health, they want to learn more about supply chain, and I would base it on that area. So since COVID happened, we have the online platform, which is on the list knowledge platform, but we also have a WhatsApp group. And you could see that people are, sort of asking questions about COVID mitigation, how are people, protecting themselves and everything else. And there was discussion around that. And when I look at it as well, based on past topics, it's usually more of on what is impacting Kenya at that point in time. I've realized people will want to discuss it. People will want to see, okay, what can we give? What information can we share? How can we be able to support the cause? So the topics are mostly on public health and supply chain, and also how to bridge the gap that exists in the country. Yeah.
And how large do you think the chapter is now? I know
we're now at 79 members.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Good. All right. And so if you wanted people to know something about your chapter and the work in Kenya, what would you tell them?
One, I would tell them, join the Kenya chapter. You will get to learn a lot. And two, there's a saying that usually says, knowledge shared is knowledge gained. So when you come with the aspect of, sharing the knowledge you have, because you will get to learn a lot from other people. I would also like to encourage the members that we currently have. I know amidst COVID and so many other things that are going on, people have, various priorities and everything else, but I'd like to encourage them, come, let us share on the platform, let us discuss, let us find a way to get solutions to, better our country, and also support each other in mitigating the, what we're suffering from when it comes to COVID.
Yes, yes. Well, let's just hope that maybe by the end of next year, we are we can actually meet people again.
Yes,
in a
yes,
safe way.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Yes.
thank you very much, Yukabeth, for your time, your efforts, and please do stay safe. And both being in Ethiopia, but also with COVID and the work that you're doing, and this vital work that I think all the supply chain people are doing now to keep things going. And I want to thank everybody, and we will continue with our chapter leader spotlight, and stay tuned. Thank you. Thank you, Yukabeth.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.